Christoph Stuermer. He's Research Director for the automotive industry at IHS Global Insight. Christoph, great to have you on the programme. It does seem at the moment to be all about luxury. That's where the success is coming from, certainly for BMW. What's its strategy here?
Well, I think it's a mixed picture of pent-up demand, really, and of course some very interesting new products. It was the premium manufacturers, as we call them, that took a very strong hit in the downturn, and now they're making up for it. And they use the opportunity of the downturn to work on their cost position, so they're now increasing their profits over proportionately.
Tell me a bit more about the BMW i brand, this electric hybrid. How much of a risk is this for the core BMW brand? I suppose they believe it's a risk worth taking.
Well, it's absolutely, and I think they're very concerned about the risk, and that's why they didn't put these new products into the core brand, but in this sort of side brand that they call BMW i. It's close enough to the core brand to migrate the technology into the main products once the technology is ripe, but to also, if anything goes wrong, to sort of keep enough of a distance. So I think it's a very wise thing, only they can't keep the distance too long. By the next product generation, they have to make up their mind.
As for Toyota, we just had their results, and other Japanese manufacturers. Are the impacts of the tsunami disaster last year starting to fade now?
Well, it was in March of this year, and I think they're really catching up quicker than we expected originally. There are still some irks and quirks in the production line, but they are basically back to normal. What we're not yet seeing is overproduction in order to do an actual catch-up against the volume that was lost earlier. But financially, it seems to look quite good.
Going back to luxury, we have Porsche. We're expecting sales to be 20% up this year. The Cayenne certainly seems to be doing it for them at the moment. What is it about that?
Well, the Cayenne is, the new generation is certainly a much better product than the previous one. It seems to be a product that is very high in demand, especially in China and in other growth regions of the world. The core product, the legendary 911, is just nearing a new product generation. So usually you would expect sales to be down a little. They are not, and it's really fantastic to see Porsche make so much money on it.
And just very briefly, how key is price? Not necessarily at the top end of the market. We know that raw material prices are on the rise, commodities are on the rise. How much of an issue is that for the lower-end car makers?
Well, lower-end car makers are certainly much more on the brink when it comes to commodity pricing, because their margins and the share of cost is much higher in their revenue. The premium car makers make more money on the marketing side, and they have more sophisticated technologies in the car, so it takes longer for commodity prices to filter through.
OK, Christoph Stuermer, always a delight to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for giving us your insight here on Bloomberg Today.